Okay, so settle dah tadi berkenaan dengan allocation of income. Kita dah tengok dah, kalau business, income dengan rental, kita apportion kepada DCs and executors guna time basis, while for dividend and interest, we going to allocate to DCs and the executors menggunakan receipt basis. Kita tengok who receive that income. Now we comes to deduction of expenses. Tadi income, ada juga expenses yang kita nak tengok. Kita boleh tolak ke tak in arriving at chargeable income for both parties. First kali, kita ada annuity. If the executor is obliged to pay any annuity from the income of the estate under administration, annuity payable is allowed as deduction. So, annuity dibenarkan untuk tolak against aggregate income in arriving at total income. So, you kena set in your mind, annuity payable boleh tolak. Second expenses, we have administration expenses. Any expenses related to administration is not deductible. So, benda-benda yang berkaitan dengan pengurusan tidak dibenarkan tolak. The reason why, because this kind of expenses incurred after the productions of income. So, kita tak nak benda-benda yang dah berlaku selepas income being produced, dia tidak dikira sebagai business expenses, therefore cannot be deducted against any income. Third one, kita ada executors remuneration. So, executors buat kerja dia not for free, dia memang akan dibayar gaji lah, remuneration. Any remuneration paid to the executors for administering the estate is not allowed as deduction. So, kalau kerja dia menguruskan estate, dia kira sebagai administration expenses dan tidak dibenarkan tolak. However, akan ada situation where executor is giving the authority to carry on the business of the deceased. Dia bukan menguruskan estate hanya selepas si mati tu meninggal, tapi daripada awal lagi, executors ni dah uruskan business of the deceased dan dia dibayar gaji. Remuneration paid pada situasi yang macam ni is deductible, boleh tolak. Okay, so in short, kita boleh summarizekan gaji executors akan ada dua situasi. Situasi yang pertama, kalau executors dibayar gaji sebab dia uruskan estate, then not deductible, tak boleh tolak. Meanwhile, kalau executors dibayar gaji sebab dia uruskan business, remuneration of executors for managing the business of the deceased, then situasi yang macam ni, that remuneration can be deducted against income. Okay, clear Okay, tadi kita dah tengok dah macam mana nak allocate income antara si mati dengan si pentadbir. Lepas tu kita dah discuss juga expenses yang mana yang boleh tolak, expenses mana yang tak boleh tolak. Sekarang ni kiranya kita dah sampai dah dekat tahap chargeable income. Nak tahu berapa rate yang akan kita guna untuk kira income tax payable untuk kedua-dua pihak ni. Okay, let's look at the deceased person first. The rate of tax for the deceased depend on his or her residency status. So, untuk si mati, you have to ask yourself a question, is deceased person resident? So, kalau you punya jawapan, yes, the deceased is a resident, therefore, income tax punya calculation, we're going to use scale rate. Rate yang kalau income dia daripada 1,000 ke berapa ribu dan berapa persen. Daripada 50,000 kepada 60,000, berapa persen. Scale rate. And Kalau dia resident, dia entitled untuk dapat relief and rebates. While kalau si mati tu is a non-resident, dia bukan tax resident in Malaysia, dia tak boleh dapat income tax menggunakan scale rate sebab kita akan pakai flat rate 28%. Memang fix. Non-resident fixed rate 28% and not entitled to claim any relief and rebates. Walaupun you ada beli buku ataupun you ada incurred some medical expenses, tapi kalau you are non-resident, so tak bolehlah claim relief and rebates. This one untuk si mati lah, deceased person. Kita akan tengok dia punya resident status. While untuk executors pula, the resident status is not relevant anymore since the rate of tax applicable to executors would depend on the domicile status of the deceased individual. Nak kira tax untuk pentadbir or executors, kita tak tengok pun dia punya status resident ke tak. Tapi kita akan tengok domicile status of the deceased person. If the deceased person died domicile in Malaysia, then executors will be taxed using scale rate. Pakai rate yang berkala tu. And executor is entitled to get 9,000 special relief. While if the deceased died not domicile in Malaysia, kita akan terus pakai flat rate of 24% and not entitled for any special relief. Tu beza dia. Deceased person, tengok dia punya resident status. While for executors, kita akan tengok si mati tu died domicile in Malaysia ataupun tak. Sekarang, the question is, apa maksud domicile? Ni adalah bukan contoh lah. Ni adalah you punya scale rate for resident individual. So, like say income dia kita ada sebanyak 5,000. So, from 5,001 sampai 10,000, rate dia adalah 1%. Kalau orang tu income dia 100,000, kita akan tengok kat sini. So, 100,000 rate dia adalah 21%. Depending on you punya income level. If you earn more, then you pay more tax. Tapi kalau you earn less, then you still pay tax tapi you bayar less. While untuk resident individual, kita tak pakai scale, kita akan terus ambil flat rate 28%. This one pula adalah personal relief. Tadi I dah cakap dekat you, untuk resident individual, dia boleh claim ataupun boleh tolak relief against total income to arrive at chargeable income. Okay, so tolak relief daripada total income untuk dapatkan dia punya chargeable income. So, ada macam-macam relief lah dekat sini. This one adalah relief based on budget 2020, and for exam purposes, this relief will be provided to you. You tak payah hafal, but then you nak kena tahulah how to apply. Macam contoh dia kata, si mati ada anak dia sekarang dekat universiti. So, kita tahulah 8,000, dan dikata pula anak tu tadi is disabled. So, 8,000 campur 6,000. Therefore, untuk anak tu dapat tolak sebanyak 14,000. So, here is the meaning of domicile. Domicile means the country in which the person has his permanent home. So, kalau si mati tu dia ada rumah dia yang kekal dekat Malaysia dan dia meninggal, dia dikira sebagai meninggal berstatus domisil di Malaysia. Or the person has been habitually and physically present. So, dia memang sepanjang hayat hidup dia ada je dekat Malaysia. memang tak bagi mana-mana. Meninggal dikira sebagai died domicile in Malaysia, and mungkin dia tak ada rumah dekat Malaysia dan tak nampak sangat pun dia berada di Malaysia, asyik keluar negara sahaja, but dia masih lagi dikira sebagai died domicile in Malaysia if that person has the intention to reside in Malaysia permanently. So tak ada rumah tak apa, tak wujud secara fizikal dekat Malaysia pun tak apa, tapi as long as dia ada niat untuk duduk kat Malaysia secara kekal lah, permanent, itu dah dikira sebagai domicile. So for tax purposes, once a person is said to be domiciled in Malaysia, there is a presumption of continuity. Dalam you punya test nanti, or bila you buat soalan tutorial, you tak payah risau since the question will clearly mention the taxpayer Mr. X died domicile in Malaysia. So confirm lah dia died domicile in Malaysia. Cuma yang kita perlu tahu adalah the tax implication of domicile status. Apa jadi kalau deceased died domicile in Malaysia, then the executors boleh dapat special relief sebanyak 9,000 dan executors akan dikira tax dia menggunakan scale rate. While kalau si mati, the deceased died not domiciled in Malaysia, executors will be taxed using flat rate. Flat rate dia fixed at 24%, and executors cannot claim special relief of 9,000. Itu beza dia lah. So bila tak boleh nak claim special relief 9,000 dan kena bayar tax at a flat rate of 24%, executors will end up paying more tax as compared to kalau deceased died domicile in Malaysia. Dia boleh banyak save on that. So ini summary of tax computation. Kita akan ada dua kolom. Satu kolom deceased and another column is for executors. Dan untuk deceased kita akan letak date dia 1st January sampai DOD, date of death. Dan untuk executors from the date of death until 31st of December of that year of assessment. So kita akan allocate satu-satu. Business income at statutory level, apportion guna time basis. Interest, kita akan apportion tengok kepada receipt basis, who receive the income. Kalau deceased yang receive the interest, exempted. Tapi kalau executors receive the interest and executors tu adalah resident, dia kena bayar tax. Tapi kalau dia is non-resident, baru dapat exemption. The reason why executors tak boleh claim exemption on interest sebab executors bukan natural person. Untuk dividend, dua-dua sama ada received by deceased or executors, kita akan bagi dia exemption sebabnya single tier dividend system. Tapi cara nak apportion, tengok receipt basis, siapa yang terima dividen. Untuk rent pula, kita akan apportion timely, similar macam business income, at net adjusted rental income, and untuk foreign source income, regardless of who receive the income, dua-dua boleh claim exemption sebab bermula tahun 2004 any income originally from outside Malaysia is not taxable in Malaysia, boleh dapat exemption. So dah listkan everything daripada 4A, 4C, yang ni pun 4C, rental 4D. So you akan dapat aggregate income. Daripada aggregate income, we going to deduct some expenses yang dibenarkan tolak. So kita akan tolak current year business loss, tolak annuity payable boleh tolak, tolak executors fee tak boleh tolak, so this one is nil. Tolak approved donation ada restriction up to 7% of aggregate income. So this one nak kena check dululah, lebih ke tak lebih 7% daripada aggregate income here. There kita boleh dapat cari total income. Daripada total income tu pula, tengok kalau this is to resident, you going to deduct some relief, ada personal relief, dia mungkin ada anak, dia mungkin ada buat medical check up, dia ada beli insurance, so boleh tolak kat sini. Dan untuk this one, executors pula, yang ni, kalau this is died domicile, executors boleh claim special relief 9,000. Baru last kali kita akan dapat chargeable income. So the journey tu quite long lah. Dapat chargeable income, masih lagi tak dapat cari income tax payable kan. Kena tengok pula nak guna what kind of rate, scale rate ataupun flat rate. Nak kena check balik resident status of the deceased and also the domicile status of the deceased untuk tentukan rate apa nak guna for the executors.